So I was recently asked, Ariel, can we get a Game Ground tier list video? Yes, this is the bit again, for like, what, the fourth time is it now? And the answer to that question is yes. Eventually. The scripts are taking a very long time to write, and in fact they're not quite a priority at the moment, but they are always in the background of my mind, things I'm thinking about, what I can add to the videos, what the videos need, what resources I'd have to gather. And in the process of writing the scripts, I came to a slight realization that I was basing a lot of my writing off of my own personal experiences, while also trying to claim that I understood what the public opinion of each character was. However, I've never asked anyone what the public opinion of each character was. I was just assuming that people liked or disliked certain characters based off of how often I saw them played in online gameplay. But therein lies the problem. People who just play Game Ground once for YouTube and then never play it again because that's what they do. They just play every game in the library in order to get some content out. Not that that's a bad thing, but that's just things people do. They're not necessarily Game Ground fans. They're just people who've played Game Ground and may or may not appreciate it to the same extent as anyone else. So given that the majority of people who I've seen play Game Ground are first-time noobs, and very few of them are actual experienced franchisees, I realized that I was basing the majority of my script writing on that false predication of evidence, which is not a good measurement. In fact, I think I came around to this realization right as I was writing Kid, because he's such a late game character that most people don't even know he exists, and therefore I didn't have opinions to fill in for him. And so that is why I am putting a twist on the classic question that I have posed at the beginning of this video. So, I recently asked you, Game Ground community, who is your favorite character in Game Ground? And that's what this video is about. Well, not this video, but in the description. That's what the description is about. You will find a link to a public survey which anyone can take, and I encourage you to share it with everyone you know who has any monochrome of experience with Game Ground. If it's their first time ever playing, or if they've played it a dozen times, or if they've played every version, or none of the versions, or they just listen to the music, or they just like character art and design, or game balance. This survey is for everyone. I want a grand swath of opinions in order to make my videos more accurate. Not only will this help with the character script writing, but it will also help me make better informed videos in the future. For example, I came to the realization when producing the 2-3 video that I may have scripted it a little too advanced, considering that I never once mentioned the fact that there are only two characters who can actually hit the high ground of 2-3, those being Verbal and Robbie. And then I also came to the realization that I made the assumption that people actually knew that Verbal was named Verbal and Robbie was named Robbie, and they weren't just Dwarf Viking and Fishbowl. So given that example, you can see why more videos in the future will be better improved once I have an understanding of what my audience does and does not know about Game Ground. So I want everyone to take this survey, preferably people who have experience with Game Ground, but if you have friends who know it through you, maybe this will be a good source for me as well. If the data populates correctly, I should be able to see a very decent swath of the public opinion regarding Game Ground characters, levels, and maybe even music. The survey will begin by asking you about what versions of Game Ground you played, and ask you about what versions you've actually beaten. From there, using certain answers on certain pages, it'll be able to filter you down so that you have to answer things relative to your experience. If you say you've never played any Game Ground games before, of course it's never going to ask you if you've beaten any of the versions, or in what difficulty levels you did it for. If you say that you've played all of the versions of Game Ground, you'll get a lot more questions. And if you say something like, I've only ever played the Genesis version, it'll ask you, okay, where did you play it? Did you play it on this plug-and-play device? Did you play it on Nintendo Switch, Wii Virtual Console, Steam, all that sort of stuff? The survey is designed to capture the demographic of the Game Ground community, in addition to their opinions. And as you may have noticed, the survey is also available in Japanese, because certain versions of Game Ground are exclusive to Japan, where they don't speak English as often. So I want to make sure that the survey is accessible. There's going to be two copies of it. The English copy for us here in the West and in Europe, and the Japanese copy for those over in Japan. After all, I can't exactly expect to get a wide variety of responses for PS2, SX, and especially for Game Ground again, if any of them are out there, if no one could even read the survey in the regions that those games are region locked to. So spread the word to this video or to the survey link in any way that you can. I'll be spreading it as well over the course of the next week or so, making sure it gets on places like Reddit and social media. And if the survey is popular enough and we get a lot of responses, I'll make a video about it and we'll see what kind of conclusions we can draw from the data. That being said, even though such a video is semi-promised, the survey will be open indefinitely. Anyone can answer it, please only answer it once, but you have infinite time to do so. That way, anyone who finds this video a decade into the future can still put in their fair 2 cents. After all, I have no clue how long it'll take to make the characters video, and the longer it takes, the more survey responses I'll get. So thank you for watching. Link in the description. If you've been enjoying the background footage, that's one of my old favorite games called Warbital. It's one of those games I play like Cannonball. It's very much like Cannonball in that it's that real-time shooter stuff. But you may be asking, why is it Warbital background footage and not Gain Ground background footage? Well, the answer is I don't have Gain Ground background footage at the moment, and I wanted to prep you for the Black Ice video, which I promised in the previous upload. You think the background footage looks good now when I'm playing the terrain, but when you see what kind of celestial chaos nonsense we're going to get up to in the Black Ice video, it's going to be nuts. So yeah, thanks for watching, take the survey, and I'll see you soon.